Guys, the 240Z's been off the road for way too long. So I figure, get me ass off the bloody PlayStation, get out of here in the shed, and sort it out. I had my 260Z, I finished it. I hated not having it on the road for that 12 months that it took to finish it, but I finished it and then I sold it. Just happened like that. I wasn't meant to, but it did help me get out here and start my own business, so that's one thing, I guess. But what we're going to do tonight is get on this guard here. Front guard of the 240Z. In Australia, they do not have these indicators in the guards. In America, they do, I do believe, but in Australia, this would have been a 260Z guard. So what I've got to do is I've got to fill that hole in. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it a bit bigger around the edges here, so I don't have to worry about these little bolt holes. And then I'm going to cut out a new piece and weld it in. So we'll get it out into the other room and we'll set it up and we'll start getting into that, eh? But I've got to put you on a charger first because you're looking a bit flat. Silly me, thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So what I've done is those little bolt holes that I talked about, I've just cut them out so it's more of a diamond shape. I'm just going to clean them up with the Dremel, the edges, so I can make it neater. Right, so what I've done here, got some 1mm cold rolled mild steel. I've just dusted over some primer, some copper spray, just so when I scribe this out with my scribe, one moment, what I did was I pushed it up as hard as I could, and I just scribed around the outside, and I've marked on it what is the top, and obviously you know what the bottom is. So yeah, top, simples. Anyway, I've got to cut it out now. Just going to use my pin snips because I want to cut it out as accurately as I can. Okay. See how that fits. Oh, top. Okay, it needs a little bit of trimming here and there, which I will do with the flat disc. Okay, that's it there, guys. So I'm just going to clean off the copper spray now and clean up the area with some acetone. So the cleaner you can make your area that you're going to weld, the easier it's going to be for you. So acetone is usually the best thing for cleaning up the metal where you're going to weld, gets rid of all the impurities. So I just got a couple of magnets holding it into place while I tack weld it in, and I'm going to remove them. might need to make some adjustment with the hammer and dolly as you go. Okay guys, I'm fighting a battery that keeps going flat. Okay, it's all shrunk in around this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over the other way, and I'm going to do some plenishing to stretch that area out again and give it some domage again. So battery's probably going to go flat halfway through me doing this, so enjoy what you can see. So that's going to be about it for the night, I reckon. It's pretty much the same, the right shape. I'm going to play it a little bit more yet, but what I've got to do is take the rest of the paint off the guard, because it's hollow there and it's hollow there, which will relieve the bit of the high spot that's there. So we've got to contend with this mess as well. It's got big holes, very thick filler. We get all that filler out, and I've got to get this flat again, because I'm not putting that much filler back in it. I hope to have no more than 1 millimeter of filler in this thing. So yeah, that's it for me tonight. I'm going inside, having a shower and going to bed, I think, because it's been a big day. See you tomorrow, guys. Hey guys, it's Sunday. Time to get some work done on the 240Z. 240Z, whatever you want to call it. So, during the week I did some work on the guard, as you saw. Mainly because I couldn't get the car down the shed during the week. Well, I could, but it's just wouldn't be worth it by the time I got it down there and set up. I'd have to take it back up and pack it up again. So, doing all the removable panels during the week for a couple of hours every night after my paid work. But on the weekend, I've dragged the welder up to this shed, and I'll get stuck into the body work, at the actual body. So today I'm going to start sorting out the roof skin, getting it ready to put back on. But first, what I've got to do is these gutter rails. This is not welded on yet. You can see it's all flippy floppy, and it's got to be extended down to about here. So while the other 240Z is here, I'll take some measurements off it, make sure I've got it all the length right and everything, because it's missing it on both sides, so I've got no idea how long it's meant to be. I think it's supposed to be to about here. But yeah, first thing is weld this rail on, extend the rails on both sides, and then I've got to start sorting out stuff like this, getting the roof skin so it's fitting right, and I'll take some profiles of this area here because this one was a bit mangled, and I'll sort that out a little bit better before I weld it back on. So yeah, I'm going to go down and take some measurements. So the roof skin's off. So what I've done, it's got to be measured from there to there, so I've just got the measurement in my verniers. And I've got to make that section up, so I'm going to pull this rail off and we'll take it down the shed. Twice. The rail. Got it off here. I've cut out a piece of metal here that's roughly around the size that I need. I'll give it a trim up when I'm done. But firstly, what I've got to do is there's a line here, a bend. So I've got it marked out with my verniers. I'm just going to mark it out onto my piece of tin here. And I've got to get my text or my Sharpie out of my pocket. I really got to get a hang on. I really got to get myself a stand for my GoPro, because this is really difficult. Might be part of the reason why my videos have changed format a little bit, because it's really hard to hold you guys and do this stuff at the same time. So yeah, mark that out, and then I'll just draw a line across here with a ruler, and then I've got to do the same thing on this line here, like so. So I'll just do that and I'll come back to you guys. So it turns out I do have an attachment for my tripod that I was using with my iPhone to put my GoPro, yeah, there. So it turns out I do have an attachment to put my GoPro on the tripod that I was using with my iPhone. So, makes it a lot easier. Videos will change. Turn this on before I use it. Okay, here we go. First thing I'll do is use the tipping die just to give it a slight tip. So, the foot pedal, just run it along my line, like so. One more, just very slight. Run off the line. Go back. That'll do, I reckon. Now what I'm going excuse me, I inhaled too much dust. Now what I've got to do is I'm just going to run along that line with the tipping die so it makes a mark on the other side, because I've got to do it from the other side next time. Oh, sorry guys. One more time. Now it's made a line. I've just got to change my dies to the wire edge dies. Wrong Allen key. Now I've never used these dies, the wire edge dies, before, so it will be interesting to see how it turns out. Okay. anvil on the bottom and the edger on the top. Where's my little piece of tin? Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm going to run it through once at a mild pressure. Okay, now we'll increase the pressure. It's got a bit of a train line. Watch for the fingers. Not straightest of... I need more practice at that, I think. Alright, maximum pressure. Okay, now what I've got to do is fold this edge up and it should be right. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the vise. Hang on, let's go over here. Okay, I'm just going to put it in the vise. And give it a bit of a fold over. Just a little bit at a time. You don't want to go too much at once because you end up destroying it. Pardon me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the chisel and a hammer and I'm just going to tap it along that line just to sharpen it up. So it's my little set that I made. Apprentice at where I used to work laughed at me for making my own tools, but you can't always buy what you want. So it doesn't hurt to make them. I've got to bolt my vise down, I haven't done that yet. This was just a bolt, and the way it's mushroomed over like that is just from hitting it. It's quite neat. Anyway, enough of that. So I'm just going to run it back through the wire edge die again. Oop, wrong side. And that's exactly what I was looking for. Got a nice sharp edge on it now. Just going to put it back in the vise and fold that over again. And we'll be done. So I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to have this line here sharp enough. But if anything, it's sharper than the original. Which is fine because the roof gutter mold trims go over it. As you can see, that's a pretty good match. So I'm going to TIG weld those together now, and then I'll trim up the excess off afterwards. It's all welded together. I'm just going to clean that up with a grinder and we'll go up and try it on the car. I've got to trim off the excess too. So I've taken this measurement with my verniers off of the customer 240Z down there, and it is spot on. So now what I've got to do is just going to clean up this rail and then plug weld it in with my MIG welder. You probably don't need to see that because my GoPro is nearly flat and I've got to put on the charger for now, and I'll come back out and we'll talk about the next process after this. Well, the next process is actually just repeating this for the other side because it's missing on that side as well. So as soon as I've done that, because you don't want to see that all over again, we'll talk about the next process of getting the roof ready to actually weld back on the car. So yeah, I'll put you on the charge, guys, because you're flat. Alright, check that out. Looks like a bloody car. Right, that's just sitting on there, but it just goes to show that it's going to clip on quite easily because it lines up the whole way along with no bends or gaps. And this is just sitting in here too. So cleaned up all the welds underneath because I've been just leaving them, and keep on leaving them, I'm going to end up with 1,052 welds that I'm going to have to grind all at once, and it's not my favourite thing, so I thought I'd start actually knocking them over here and there. So I've started on the other side. Let's go over and have a look. So this part here is only sitting in there at the moment. It's ready, it's made, as you can see, but can you notice something? There's a bit missing. So I've got to make that up too, because otherwise there's going to be a big gap under here and there's nothing to weld to. So I've got to make that bit up there. I'm running out of time today because it's Sunday and I've got to edit these videos and do other stuff. So I'm going to slowly start packing my shit up. And if I've got a little bit of time, I might make a pattern up to cut that bit out to weld new piece in. I could just leave it because you're not going to see it underneath, but I'm going to lose a bit of strength there, and that is a weak point for them. They like to crack there. So make it as strong as possible. I don't want to leave it. And I don't want to be dodgy. This thing is going to be awesome when I've finished with it. I'm going to spend quite a bit of time getting this one right. Yeah, alright. I'm just going to have a bit of a clean up and then we'll slip the roof skin back on before I say goodbye. But I might actually, instead of this week, because that front guard isn't quite finished yet, I might work on the roof skin instead, because that's the next panel that's got to be welded on. So got to finish that off first. It's not quite the right shape. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just going to have a clean up, guys. Let's have a look at where we are at with the roof. So when it comes time to welding it on, I'm going to have to reshape this a little bit here. As you can see, it follows up. It's all good until it gets to there, and then it's out of whack. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut that open. It's been welded there anyway, as you can see. I'm going to cut that open, and I'm going to bring that around in the right profile. And haven't even looked at the other side yet, but this side's actually pretty good. It just says the gap there because of that bit that's missing. So once I put that in, I'll be able to blend it in quite well. It goes there like that. So yeah, that side's good. It's just, yeah, that side needs a bit of work. And it's a bit high for some reason, but yeah, that's all to be sorted out. And in a minute. Let me just take this off for a sec. I've taken a profile off of the other 240Z. If you look at it, there's a gap right there, but that means it's a bit full at the top there, so I can flatten it out at the top. It'll close that gap up. So I'm going to spend a bit of time getting that to the right profile, because I want it to look right. I don't want to look bulgy there like it does to my eyes. Yeah, so yeah, a bit of time on the roof, but got a bit of a busy weekend next weekend, so I'm not sure whether I'll get it welded on or not, but I'll give it a go. I will spend some time on it during the week this week, after hours. So I've got the U-Butte light up there. That cast down quite a bit of light. Actually almost got sunburnt. So that's about it for this weekend, guys. I'm going to pack up now, and well, I've mostly packed up, just got to put my bike away, and that's about it. So yeah, see you next week.